full of crap, Foley.
What? I did sell at 10x before we dropped the FUD.
Excuse me? My name is Chad. I want to report investment fraud, anonymously.
Oh, what's the crime?
Well, I wanted to start trading Bitcoin, and there's a scammer spreading terrible investment advice. I lost thousands of dollars. My family.
Oh my God! This is terrible.
You did the right thing telling the SEC, Chad. Now who's advised you? What's his name?
Well, I don't know his real name. It's a chicken on Twitter.
A chicken on Twitter?
Yeah, he's a millionaire, and he's ripping off his followers.
A millionaire chicken man?
Yeah, he's on the leaderboard of this Bitcoin exchange, BitMEX. He said his watch cost more than a Lambo.
A Lamborghini?
What a degenerate.
And how did this Twitter chicken scammer hurt you, son? How'd he make you lose your family's money?
Well, he keeps telling his followers to buy the fucking dip. So I go in with 100x leverage and get liquidated. It happened to my friend, too. I got this paycheck from McDonald's. The Twitter chicken gave me his BitMEX referral link, and I want to go long on Bitcoin with 100x leverage so I can make it to Lambo land.
You want to open a high leverage long position at the top of the bear market?
Yeah, go hard or go home. Balls deep.
Fantastic. A really smart decision, young man. Let me just load up your BitMEX account. Alright. What we're going to do is wait until the next green candle, market buy, no stop loss, 100x leverage, and then use these profits through, and it's gone.
What?
It's gone. You're liquidated.
Welcome, Bitcoin friends. It's Bitcoin Mamo. Today we're going to look at the Bitcoin charts, do some TA, look at various time frames, and also take a look at market Cipher. We're going to start here on the 2-week time frame. This 2-week candle does close at the end of the week. We're going to look at some key levels for that close. We do have these order blocks drawn in here. These come from a single red candle in an uptrend or a single green candle in a downtrend. These order blocks can act as support and resistance levels. So we can see with the previous 2-week candle here, we did close inside this order block and also inside this thinner order block from this green candle. And currently we have been pushed back below those order blocks. It looks like it's currently acting as resistance, but we'll have to see how this 2-week candle closes. Ideally, we want to close at least inside this order block, which would be above 45,240. If we don't do that, we want to see us at least close inside or above this golden pocket area, which is between 42,840 and 44,130. That golden pocket comes from the retracement here when taking it from the 29k low to the 69k high. We also see on the VPVR the amount of volume traded at certain price levels. We did have a big spike here where we did get this resistance around 47k, and the next area of support is all the way down at 39,000. Looking at the RSI now, we do have this blue box drawn between a 45 and 47 level, and it's key for Bitcoin to hold above this level. We can see we bounced off it a couple of times here. And just looking back in the history of Bitcoin, once we break below this level on the RSI, it can indicate a big drop and a final capitulation in a bear market. On this occasion, it was a 52% drop, and we spent 5 months below this level on the RSI. And again, reclaiming it indicated the start of the next bull run. But we can see, similar to our current price action, we did come down to this level and got a dead cat bounce, similar to what we did recently. But once we do lose it, we could look for that final capitulation. Looking at the stock market crash here, we also dropped below that level on the RSI. We had a 57% drop, just taking it from this candle after we broke that level on the RSI. We also got support on this bounce here. So it is a key level to watch. Also during the 2014-15 bear market here, once we did cross that level on the RSI, we experienced a 65% drop and a final capitulation into the bottom of the bear market. And we did spend a year below it on this occasion. This also happened in the 2011 bear market here. We broke below that level on the RSI at this point, and we experienced a 62% drop with that final capitulation. And again, reclaiming that level indicated the start of the next bull run. And down to the weekly time frame now, we have these weekly order blocks drawn in blue. We can see the previous weekly candle closed inside this order block. Currently it's acting as resistance. We have had this push back down. Again, there's a few more days before we close this candle. To close inside this order block, we would need to get back above 46k. We can see we have come down to this lower order block from this green candle. And the worst case scenario would be for us to close below this order block, which is below 41,880. We can see this acted as resistance on these attempts higher. So we do need to flip this back into support. And again, this is on the weekly time frame, so we're looking at the candle body closes on the weekly time frame. Below that order block, the next order block isn't until all the way down at 35,200. Doing a fib retracement now from the 69k high to this 33k low. We can see on this bounce, we came up to the 382 level with this orange line, and it has acted as resistance currently. And that is quite bearish, getting rejected at the 382 level. It shows weakness in the overall bounce. So that's a key level to get back above when looking at the overall fib retracement. And looking at the RSI now, I've got a similar box drawn as to on the 2-week time frame. This one is between a 50 and 56 level, and above this range is bullish, below this range is bearish. Currently, we can see we are below it, and it's looking like it's acted as resistance. But again, we have to wait for this weekly candle to close. The previous week candle did close inside this blue box. And we're watching that area because it has been key during the previous bull runs and bear markets. In 2017 bull run, you can see we got support off this area all the way up. And then the 2018 bear market acted as resistance all the way down once we did break below it. So to be more bullish like we were on this bounce, we see we broke back above it, came back, tested it for support, and we got back above this blue box and it indicated more bullish price action. And down to the daily time frame now, we can see we had this triangle formation at the top of this run, had a few touches on the bottom and a few touches on the top, confirming this pattern, and we ended up breaking to the downside. And this measured move is just calculated using the second touch point after the peak here and measuring a line to the top of the triangle and applying it to the breakout. And that measured move has a target of 42,000. And just want to mention, I talked about this on my Twitter page. The handle is in the descriptions of the videos. But I talked about this before we broke this triangle pattern. I said be prepared, something like this could play out. The measured move of the triangle comes back to the 50 and the 100-day moving average, which is in yellow and orange here. And it also comes back to the trend line connecting the overall lows, and also lined up with the biggest spike on the VPVR here, looking at the price action over this year and this range. So there was a lot of confluence with coming back to 42k area. And just to show that I do trade my analysis, I did put on a short at 10 times leverage with the entry price at around 46k. I have taken a decent amount of profits on the way down, and currently it's still up 76%. And I am looking for that 42k target at least. And another thing which I found interesting, I did post this in a Twitter thread. This is looking at our current price action with the 69k peak here. We did have this death cross where the 50-day moving average in yellow crossed the 200-day moving average in red. We're able to reclaim the 50-day moving average here, came up to the 200-day, and then got resistance, and we're pushing back down to that 50-day moving average. And I pointed out that we had that triangle formation with the measured move coming back to that 50-day moving average at 42k. And it also happened to be the level where the 100-day moving average in orange was touching that 50-day moving average. And this area was also the golden pocket, taking it from this low to the peak. And I mentioned, where have we seen this before? And looking back at the 2014 bear market here, we had the 1.2k peak here. Started the bear market, we got the death cross. We're able to reclaim the 50-day moving average, got up to the 200-day moving average, got rejected, and we had this big throwback back to the 50-day moving average. And zooming in on that area in 2014, we can see that 100-day moving average was also touching that 50-day moving average, like our current price action, and we saw we had this quick drop back down to that area. And finally, we also had the golden pocket in the same region, like with our current price action. taking it from the low before the run to the top. So there was that same confluence in 2014 as with our current price action and pullback from that 200-day moving average. So the other thing we notice is we did also have this triangle pattern in blue with a few touches on both sides. We managed to break bullish from this triangle, had a move to the upside, but now we have re-entered this triangle. And when we do have a failed breakout like this and re-enter the pattern, it can often indicate a big move in the opposite direction. We'll have to see if this trend line holds. It is pretty much in line with that 42K target we talked about. We would need to see Bitcoin bounce here and not lose this trend line. Otherwise, we could see a further downside. And looking at the daily EMA ribbon here, we did get above it here. And when we are bullish, normally on a pullback, we will get a bounce from the top of this ribbon. We can see we have re-entered this ribbon. We haven't lost it yet. The bottom of this ribbon is at 42,900. Currently, we are below it. We'll have to see how this daily candle closes. So there are quite a few order blocks on the daily time frame. So I'll just show them briefly. The key one was this order block here, which did act as resistance on all these attempts higher. But we did close the daily below that order block. And the next order block where we just got this small bounce is down at 42.4K down to 42.2K. But there are a lot of order blocks here. So we are looking more at those weekly order blocks to get some of the main. And looking at market cipher now, this is on the 4-hour time frame. We did have this blood diamond, which did give us an early warning sign that we could experience a decent drop. These aren't 100% reliable. If we look back, this one was quite reliable for this drop, but they do have a decent hit rate. Some don't result in as big a drop, but when they do start piling up like this, it does increase the probability that eventually we're going to experience a decent drop. These yellow X's can indicate manipulation and also give warning signals of a possible drop, although sometimes I have seen them mark the bottoms of a drop. But also when they do build up, it can indicate a drop is eventually coming. As we can see on this occasion, we did get drops from some of these, but when we start getting 2 or 3 in a row here, it can indicate a big drop's eventually coming. And just another example here, we started building these up, and we can see we eventually went a lot lower. But the 4-hour money flow is in the red, and we did get a red dot here that just got confirmed. We do need to see this money flow start curving around and coming back to the upside. The 6-hour is also similar. We've just entered the red money flow. This red dot hasn't been confirmed yet, but we also had a blood diamond before this drop. The 12-hour now, we see this blue wave has been coming down. It is looking like it's starting to curve, so we could be getting close to a potential bounce here. The daily still looks like it has a bit more to go, and this blue wave is starting to cross the 0 line, and the daily would be a bit more reliable to look for a green dot to confirm the bottom here, as we are still in the green money flow, and these green dots below the 0 line are more reliable in the green money flow. The 2-day did get a red dot here that has been confirmed. So this is quite bearish. We are still in the red money flow. And the 3-day does have a red dot. It's not confirmed until the 10th of April. The 3-day is interesting with these red dots, because when we look back at the 2018 bear market, what we can see is these dead cat bounces that happened in the bear market. Just zooming in a bit more, we do see these red dots on the 3-day did indicate the tops of these dead cat bounces. Onto the weekly time frame, we have been moving up with the blue wave here. It does look like it's starting to curve back around. We do need to see it get above the 0 line to give more confidence on upside. The 2-week time frame does have this green dot, so we have to wait for the end of the week to see if it gets confirmed, and that is a bullish sign. We can see on the 2018 bear market, we did also get a green dot at a similar area. The following 2-week candle got a red dot, and then it indicated more downside. So we have to give that one more time to see how that plays out. And finally, the 3-week time frame, which is interesting because it also has a green dot, but it will take another week after this week for it to be confirmed. And it's interesting because the previous 2 bear markets didn't get a green dot on the 3-week until we were at the bottom of the bear markets. So that would be something different if that was to be confirmed. But again, we've got another week after this week, and lots can happen with the price action. So I think that's about all. Hope you enjoyed that analysis. We'll be watching to see if we do get a bounce from this trend line on this triangle, and also that 50-day and 100-day moving average, and the bigger spike on the VPVR here. That would keep some hopes alive if we do bounce off this area, and would be even better to break back above this triangle, which is currently at about 44,320. If we do break below this 42k area, we'll possibly look for targets down here at 39k. So thanks for watching. I'm Bitcoin Mamo. See you next time. Bye.